Hello everyone, welcome back to the Bardic Quest Talk Show. We are talking today about the Druid drop in Villainous Options 1 of the Unearthed Arcana, the Circle of the Titan Druid today. So we're going to go kaiju battling all the way today. If you are new here though, I am Wayne, joined by Annina and Callum, all of us of Bardic Quest Actual Play fame, which is of course our main show. So if you like some actual play by trained British actors such as ourselves, then stick around, do some subscribing, liking, and hyping, because hyping is important now apparently.
Hype it up.
So hype it up, and we shall do our best to entertain you in that regard. So before we get into the Circle of the Titan Druid today, we've got a little bit of news. It's tiny bit of news. But as I was filming Insight Check last night, which is actually dropping tonight for silver level patrons on our Patreon, that's patreon.com/BardicQuest, I stumbled upon some information on the D&D Encounters program, which is the organised play program, which I don't know how familiar you two are with that.
I've heard mention of, but that is where my knowledge ends.
So I've interacted. I kind of know what it is. I have never interacted with it.
It was a good program. Let me grab something.
Here's the pitch for the Encounters program.
No, it was a good little program because this was like the Adventurers League stuff, where they'd release what are essentially the length of old school D&D modules, about 30-page adventures, kind of like this that I've printed out, so sizable. And they'd be released. They had different. This is where like the seasons of play that are being talked about a lot. With Wizards of the Coast kind of comes up because they used to have different seasons around the published adventures that were released. So like season 1, which Defiance in Flan actually is based off of the D&D Encounters program, which is our actual play mini-series that we did. Defiance in Flan was the first of the Tyranny of Dragons season adventures. Just a great source for additional adventures that are they're obviously they're not the best designed, because they are like released very quickly, so they're not gone through the deep product development that, say, a full cover book would have gone through. But I mean, they're still pretty good and sometimes have some really interesting ideas for mechanics and things. So always worth checking out, and they're great for if you do need to just like run a one-shot for a party or whatever, or a get-together with friends or anything like that. You can just pick up one of these and run it pretty much straight out of the adventures, and they give you tips for adjusting the adventures and stuff based on the strength of the party, how many players you've got versus the level and average party level and things like that. But really, really good. But what happened was the D&D Encounters program kind of disappeared after a while. I think they stopped seeing the value in it for whatever reason. But now that we have a new team leading the charge, as it were, including Greg Bilsland, who is now the executive producer for the Dungeons & Dragons game. He was a big proponent of the Adventurers League stuff. So I think we can probably thank him for the return of the D&D Encounters program. But the news is that I stumbled upon some information about the Season of Horrors last night. And actually, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, so I'm going to be very vague because I don't want to get into any trouble. But I have seen the D&D Encounters adventures. In fact, I have them on my computer right now. I can't show you them, but what I did see, I like the look of, to an extent. So there's 2 parts to the D&D Encounters program. This is the seasonal adventures are all under the title of Shadows of Sithicus, which is one of the domains of dread that's going to feature in the Ravenloft book, and belongs to Lord Soth of Dragonlance fame. So there's 2 elements to it. There is what they're calling the Celebration Adventure, which is a 3-hour adventure, is the intent of that. That's kind of your big launch event to coincide with the season. in this case to coincide with the release of Ravenloft. That is going to be on the... I can't remember what the date of it was. Oh, here it is. The 5th of June through to the 14th of June. Your friendly local game stores that are running the D&D Encounters program will be able to run the first part, which is called Grave Awakenings. I probably shouldn't say that too much, but I've said it now. And then following that, from June to July, and this bit's public information, there's going to be weekly D&D Encounters mini adventures is what they're calling them. So these are kind of like your one-shots, but they're kind of designed for sort of like 90 minutes of play. So they're more akin to a couple of fights than they are necessarily a full-blown encounter. And there's going to be one of those every week up until it was so it starts 10th of June and finishes on the 12th of July 2026. So 4 weeks of mini adventures as well. So 5 adventures all in, 4 of them 90 minutes, 1 of them 3 hours long, and all kind of featuring content from the Ravenloft book. So nice to see that that's already on the move, because actually one of the questions that came up on Insight Check was, how the season's going so far. And I was like, I've not really seen anything yet. So then I did a bit of digging and discovered this, which I think was actually only released yesterday, coincidentally, as news. So yeah, I mean, what do you think about organized play and stuff in general, and kind of, is 90 minutes a good length for an adventure, or is that just what do you reckon? Too hollow of an experience?
Too short for me personally. I don't think you can get a slight taste of what it might be like, but I think shortest session I'd say 3 hours, 2-3 maybe. To actually get people limiting hooked.
Yeah.
I think there's a difference between designing something to run 90 minutes and running something in 90 minutes.
100%, yeah.
So someone says, "Oh, I've written a 90-minute thing." I'm like, "Cool, that's my 3-hour session tonight." Sorted.
100%.
I was thinking that as well. It says 90, but it's never. It's like most board games. It's like, well, you say 45 minutes.
Yeah, I've definitely ran Defiance in Flan a few times for my paid games for some clients, and the Defiance in Flan adventures are designed to run for an hour. Let me tell you,
we did them. They always
we've done those. That's not true.
It's not right. It's not true.
It's only true if you're like.
It depends on how much. It depends on how much biscuit time you're accounting for in Defiance in Flan.
Yeah,
my character is mute and does not speak. And just does things.
I mean, to be fair though, Shock at Even Feast, our episode comes in at 1 hour and 12 minutes, so I don't think that's too bad. But conversely, Dead at High Sun, which was Defiance in Flan, was 2 hours 35 minutes.
Yeah. That was high.
In terms of length, which was the first one?
The first one was Screams at Dawn, which came in at 2 hours 10.
Yeah. At which point we were introducing our characters, because this is one of the things with any. I think the length of any sort of thing is very much affected by, is it a group that know each other? Are these characters we've met before?
Yeah.
Because if the answer to both of those is yes, I can see, and maybe not quite 90 minutes, but I can see you powering through and getting it done. If it's a bunch of people who, if it's this organized play where it's a bunch of people who haven't really played before, who've come to this event, they've designed characters they're not particularly familiar with, rather than their stock character, and we've got to get them to know each other and to do things on there. Cool, we'll start in 90 minutes.
Yeah, right. I mean, they have got as part of the package that they've put together for game stores, they have got pre-made characters coming in at level 3. So these are designed for 3rd level, and they've kind of changed the way the organized play thing works. Where it used to be that it was like, hey, you're dropping into the Adventurers League, you can bring your character, but these are the character creation rules. They can be any level within this tier of play. Whereas what they're doing now is they're saying, okay, if you continue to play, your characters will level up at this on this week, and then we're moving from level 3 to level 4, and then on this week we'll move from level 4 to level 5. So everybody that's joining then needs that character, but they have got these pre-made characters as well. So for pure beginners, they can be just handed a character sheet. Which is really nice, and they're based off of the characters in the Dungeon Masters actual play that they started recently as well. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, a lot. I think the other thing in terms of length of time is, I guess it depends on what type of experience you're trying to create, because I think it's apparent more and more and more as I see when Wizards of the Coast are like, yeah, this is designed for this length of time. It kind of does feel like the designer's expectation is that you do fight, you finish fight, you say, right, let's go next fight, you do fight, you finish fight, and then we're done. Thank you very much. And we kind of go, yes, and you all live happily ever after, the end. And it does sometimes feel a little bit like that. Whereas I prefer much more depth to my in-between bits of fights.
Some of the in-between bits are the best bits. Not saying combat isn't fun,
right?
But yeah.
I think that's true. I think that's true. But I mean, like, we've got. No, that's saying too much. I don't know how much trouble I'll get into. I don't want to say. I don't want to say that. I'm not going to get myself into trouble. But yeah. I would much prefer. I mean, look, I know it's only a 30-minute difference, but to me, 30 minutes in a session of D&D can make all the difference. I much prefer something like this, where it's like, hey, this is designed for 2 hours of play, so you've got a minimum of 2 hours. Expect that, because I feel like at least in 2 hours you can have those moments of depth if you want to, and you can easily cut out an encounter or two if things are running over. I feel like if you're designing something for 90 minutes, like at best you've got 2 fights in there. Like, are you going to cut out, if you're running over, are you going to cut out the second fight? And it's like, basically this adventure was a fight. Because we've all, particularly if you've got players, because this is the thing, right? You're starting them at level 3. Like, if you're starting with players that have...
in your voice for starting.
Well, no, I just think as somebody who has ran, I do. I understand it from a kind of like powers perspective, but we're assuming here, I think, to a degree, that the players coming in are probably people that haven't played often or at all. And as somebody that has run adventures that are designed for 1 hour of play, that I've got 2 fights in, I can tell you that if you've got a player even at level 1 that has never played before, trying to explain to them, even succinctly, of going, well, you can do this, or you can do this, or you can do this. The cognitive load of that makes what would be a 3-round fight last easily for an hour and a half. Because there's so much of like, okay, so if I do this, and I do that, and I do this. So I feel like setting the expectation that this is going to be 90 minutes of D&D is really giving people no wiggle room at all. I think I would rather them say, this is designed for 2 to 3 hours, have that expectation, so you can take your time and lead people in, rather than being like, this is super tight 90 minutes.
I did a session...
go on.
Sorry. I did a session recently where I was teaching someone how to play D&D. I gave them a pre-prepped character, and we did start at level 1. And literally just a little goblin fight, no kobold fight, literally, like, just so they get idea of what they can do. I had a cheat sheet for them. That was 3 hours. And again, we're going to have another one. They enjoyed it. They kind of knew what D&D was. But yeah, with like 2 options of, they had a paladin. So it was like, oh, you could do this or this, or whack him with your sword.
Yeah.
Well, I think because obviously I like outside of this, I a lot of what I do is teaching new people to play D&D. I think it would be wiser, rather than saying this runs in 90 minutes, is give a scope.
Yeah.
So this runs between 90 minutes and 2.5 hours. It's depending on, because I think it's that thing of you might know, you might not know. With players, if you know that this thing, if it's moving at pace, if you find yourself at a table that doesn't particularly care for improving and chatting and all of that sort of thing, or there are players that are just making really quick, efficient, straightforward moves in combat, they're not trying to do anything fancy or asking if they can do that, okay, this thing's going to be over in 90 minutes. Do I want that? Do I need to add some stuff into, to fill this? But then it also gives you the thing of, if they're the opposite of that, if they love to if they're really enjoying each other's characters and engaging with each other, and everyone wants to have a little chat to the NPC and all that kind of thing.
Adopt the goblin.
Yeah, absolutely. All of this sort of thing, that you go, okay, well, it's probably going to be that, and us as DMs can to a certain extent add our own filter onto that anyway, and sort of extrapolate from it.
Yeah.
But it is something where I think giving even some board games give you a
scope.
A scope, because they're like, well, it depends,
Yeah.
How petty is one of your players?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's all. I guess for me, part of my worry, I think why I asked the question as to whether or not it was too short, is I kind of feel like some of the design choices in terms of what is being referred to now as an adventure in D&D is really starting to go fully like stripped back, like it is a series of fun. Like, I don't know if either of you have picked up the Dungeon Master's Guide for 2024 or 5.5.
Not yet, no.
Well, they have, which is a pretty cool thing, and I like the fact that it's in here. They have these sample adventures. And basically they are a single-page adventure, which kind of says, okay, it's for this level, this is what you need to prep, this is the map that you need, these are the monsters that you need. But these single-page adventures, I like the fact that they're stripped down, because I think people only having access to like the hardcover books that are trying to write their own adventures have had the preconception that they need to prepare an adventure that is like a published book. Whereas these one-page adventures kind of create the opposite effect, which is like, in fact, actually the first one is half a page of an adventure. And it's like, all you need is the beats. The rest you can improv around. So I like the fact that it's there. But then I picked up the Forgotten Realms book. And the Forgotten Realms book has got like 50 or 60 of these one-page adventures, which again is not necessarily a bad thing. I think that's actually good value of a product for a DM to be able to pick up a book and be like, I'm running a Forgotten Realms adventure, and it's going to take us one night to play. But then we're also getting that in the Ravenloft book, and we're also getting these D&D Encounters, which have gone down from 2, sometimes 4-hour adventures down. I mean, obviously we've got the 3-hour adventure, but there's going down to the 90 minutes, and I'm worried that that's going to become, in the same way that I miss the fact we don't use the word adventure anymore in D&D. We use campaign or we use one shot, and there's nothing in the middle. And I'm worried that we're getting further and further away from the short adventure and moving into one shots and campaigns, and that makes me sad.
Yeah, I think it's one of those where it's stretching the word adventure. Do you know what I mean? Like I think it's to it's more an episode than it is.
Yeah.
An adventure. For me, so I mean, I've always used the perhaps incorrectly, although it's up for debate. Adventure to me is a several session thing that doesn't stretch out to a campaign.
Yeah.
Right.
In my head, adventure is 3 to 6 sessions. Depending on how long your sessions are, of course. But that's what like I'm planning to run one at the moment, and I often have those as either a pre-campaign thing or you run those to get the vibe of a group to see, because within 3 to 6 sessions it allows you to see if people are happy with the characters they're playing, if they enjoy the vibe of what's going on. It allows you to see who turns up.
Yep.
If they miss
if
two
people
of the
actually get along,
if we have to reschedule 2 of those 6 sessions, maybe that one person someone time on a campaign. You know, and then you can either end it as a nice finished adventure, or it can move on to this 90 minutes. I feel it feels a little quick drop in, doesn't it?
It's not an adventure to me. 90 minutes.
That's an encounter.
It's a two encounters.
Two encounters, yeah.
And then it's like,
I mean, in fairness, this is the D&D Encounters program, so I should probably give them a little bit of grace. They've been pretty clear as what it is. I just don't know if, as an introduction to the hobby, that's necessarily what I want people to be experiencing, of like rushed fights.
Yeah, and also I was thinking, if it's 90 minutes, worst thing you could have in a session is like this this sort of pressure to decide immediately because we don't have time and I think 90 minutes very likely.
Yeah.
Even if it's just the internally as the DM being like, right, guess I'm cutting out that and that.
Okay, I'd give a bad first date more than 90 minutes.
That's good, yeah.
I mean, courtesy, you never know. It might take a while to break through the ice. Do you know what I mean?
I've ordered my maid now, so might as well.
It's 90 minutes. It's not long enough to learn whether it's D&D is
for you.
Yeah, because I find the best way to get people into it is actually intrigue and story.
I agree.
You do not get that in 90 minutes.
I agree. And that's my worry, I think.
Yeah. If it's like, so we just go to a place and whack people. Okay, that's boring. And it's starting to sound like that to me. Whereas if the way you get people into it is to be like, I think of one now, but like, ooh, what happens here? And then something mysterious happened there. Or do you go A or B? That's how I get people into it. It's like something happened over there and there. And then people, that's a really good way, I think, to get
I think
people into it.
I mean, I've only skim read these adventures, to be fair, so there could be some real good meat in there. I am going to see if I can look to run these myself on my public game, so I've got a real good sense of it. But yeah, it just feels to me like going to a restaurant and just eating a starter.
Going to meet a friend for a drink and having one drink.
The actually sensible person.
One drink and then leaving. Oh, this was a nice catch up.
Telling a joke and no punchline.
Yeah, right. So shall we take unless anybody else has got anything to say on the D&D Encounters program?
No.
Shall we take a look at the?
Let us know how long they actually run when you actually.
Yes.
Yes.
Check back.
Yes.
Check back with the detailed review. The future.
Exactly. Detailed review. Was it just villain number 1, 2, and 3, or was there any sort of?
As a general rule, when it comes to like the D&D Encounters stuff and the Adventurers League stuff, I basically take a look at how long they say it is, and I add 50%. Yeah. So 2-hour adventure is 3 hours. I would say call it 2, maybe 2.5 hours for these 90-minute ones is probably what I would do, because it just gives you a little bit of more wiggle room for taking account of various things. Is generally what I do, but we shall see. All right, so we're going to take a look at the Circle of the Titan Druid. Again, this is from Villainous Options 1, which came out a few months ago. In fact, probably last month. Villainous Option 2 is now out, but we want to take a deep dive and take a look at all of these. This is going to give us a good idea as to what's going to be in what I suspect is going to be a Book of Vile Darkness coming. That's my personal belief. I have nothing to go off of other than the fact that they're giving us villainous things. But yes, this is the Circle of the Titan Druid. Think basically druid that can turn into a kaiju. Is basically what I'm looking at. It is the tagline is "Wreak Colossal Havoc."
Yeah, it's definitely kaiju vibes.
Yeah, kaiju vibes.
This is Greenpeace Godzilla.
Yes. So the idea, the narrative,
very 90s, like Captain Planet, but against.
Yeah, right. Captain Planet. That's a throwback. Who remembers that? I mean, I do.
Good.
I do. But
do not leave me alone.
But I don't know how.
90s.
I don't know how many of our audience members might remember that. I'm feeling old, Annina. I'm feeling old.
Don't drag me down.
Feeling old. So yes. So the narrative of this is that when civilization violates the natural world, the druids of the Circle of the Titan intervene. Druids of this order believe that for nature to thrive, society must sometimes fall. To this end, they assume towering, monstrous forms to mete out cataclysmic retribution and forcibly restore the natural order. So yes, these are not your goodly druids that are gonna be nice to everybody. It is essentially, you mess with nature, you fuck with me. This is the fuck about and find out druid.
It's giving a very different vibe to Godzilla films. He was just very angry about town planning.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So before we get into the features, any thoughts on the overall concept?
I mean, I think I like that it leans into it. Like we're looking at villainous subclasses in here, and it gives you a nice meaty reason. I think obviously the best villains have good reason for being villains. You know, it's there's nothing I hate more in online discourse when a movie comes out when they go, but why can't the villain just be a villain? You know, why can't they? The best villains always have some great motivation, and
yeah. It might be absolutely twisted, but they have logic in what they do.
This is a nice, clear for me path for a druid to, to venture into, crossing many lines, because from their perspective, they're the good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And I like this as well because you can see how the arc of this as a player character could easily be starting as a bad guy. And slowly becoming the anti-hero, and
I can't
generally
see that in this one.
Or the opposite.
or the opposite. Yeah.
I can see you becoming this, but
I guess what I mean with this one is because this isn't like draining people of their souls. This is somebody turning into this big, massive, monstrous thing. In the same way of like. The Incredible Hulk is a great character as both a baddie and a goodie.
Yeah.
Because it is wanton destruction. But you can focus and channel that destruction into something good if you wanted to. Whereas with some of the others, as I say, with like sucking people's souls dry, you can't really do that and be good. They've got
an arc up to level 14. To either become, King Kong or Clifford the Big Red Dog. It's which way they're gonna go.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I like it as a concept. It's nice and simple.
It's a simple concept. I have the same worry I had with the other ones. I'm like, are we just like, because now we're being kaijus, like Leviathan. level, which is even big for a kaiju. Is this just like once we've reached this, where do we go from here?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's take a look at the level 3 stuff because I see where you're going with that. And I don't disagree necessarily. All right. So level 3 then. You get your Circle of the Titan spells. Level 3, you get Cure Wounds, Longstride, Thaumaturgy. Nothing particularly too... Actually, I think that kind of lacks a bit of theme, actually, if I'm perfectly honest with you, but fair enough. Level 5, you unlock Fear. Level 7, Stone Skin, and level 9, Destructive Wave. I think those ones have theme.
I see what you mean.
I think, yeah.
Cure Wounds is very much like, now I'm imagining Godzilla putting a Band-Aid on, which...
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm guessing it's that thing of like, well, we can't take that away from a druid, is the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, but these are things that are in addition to what you'd normally have.
Cure Wounds seems to me. I can see the use of Longstrider, and Thaumaturgy, like you're tapping into that primal thing within you. You know, like you can see all of a sudden these legs are getting longer, and he's doing and all this sort of thing. But the Cure Wounds one, I think both. Yeah. I mean, obviously, any character having Cure Wounds is good. It's a great spell. To have. I don't see how it's thematic or particularly useful because I'm right. They still can't cast spells in their monster form, so they're not going to be healing that. And if they're in the monster form, yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is worth pointing out with these Titan spells because I haven't actually said it out loud, even though it is on your screen. You do get to cast them whilst you are in Titan form.
Oh.
Because you do get Cure Wounds. You do get Cure... Yeah, you can. Yeah.
That is quite a cool thing in terms of if you're a big... I'd missed that. Yeah, if you're a big, that you are just... Do you know what I suppose it is? It's that having that sort of... You're seeing it as sort of like a regenerative skin kind of...
I guess so, yeah.
Thing. That can be quite cool, to be fair.
Yeah, although you could still do it to somebody else, too. So I don't really... I mean, I get it, I guess. It just, of all of the spells that they could have chosen for this, I just feel like Cure Wounds
I think I agree. Yeah. I agree with you. It's a bit like, oh, okay. I'm a bit... It's not that it's clashes horribly. It's just a bit of an odd choice.
It's an odd choice. It is. Like, maybe something like, I don't know, Jump or... What about Enlarge Reduce or something like that? Enlarge Reduce would make a lot of sense.
I guess it's maybe a moot point when you can...
I don't know if you want to connect
Oh, yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, no, that's true. That's fair.
What is above Gargantuan?
That's fair. That's a fair point, I suppose.
I am bigger than the planet.
But yeah, I just feel like there's so many things they could have gone for instead.
I think it's interesting that they've put that you can cast spells from this feature while you're in a Titan form, because we want to limit that. You don't want to be just because obviously, as we'll see in the forms, your languages don't change. You can still talk, you can still communicate in these wild shapes, in these forms. You don't want to be able to mix being these things and certain spells.
No, right, completely. So let's take a look at the Titan form here as well. So this is the other thing you get at level 3, which is kind of the main feature, if you will. So this allows you to adopt a Titan form when you use Wild Shape, choosing from the Behemoth, the Leviathan, and the Insectoid stat blocks. You determine what your Titan form looks like, and you can roll on or choose from the Titan appearance table to inspire aspects of your form's appearance. So I like that they give you that, something to give you something if you're in the nicest possible way lacking in imagination.
If you don't want to be exactly trademarked monster.
Right. Right, yeah. Due to copyright law, it isn't. So it gives you all of those. So let's take a look at the stat blocks here. There's the Insectoid. So let's take a look at the Behemoth. So, your size increase is level locked. So you can only go to large from level 3 up until level 10, at which point you unlock huge, and then once you hit level 14, you unlock gargantuan. Now it's interesting because gargantuan doesn't have an upper limit. Crucially, gargantuan is the biggest. I'm guessing, although I don't see anything here, but I'm guessing they are putting a soft limit. Because otherwise you could be like, I grow as big as I want, surely. Because gargantuan...
If we're talking battle map size in terms of...
Yeah,
because obviously a medium creature is 5 feet, large is 10. Is huge 15 or is it 20?
Huge is 15, gargantuan is 20 plus.
Right.
yeah, that's where it's...
Yeah. But I don't see anywhere that says gargantuan at 20.
How big is the room? I am that big.
Yeah, that's gonna
Exactly.
that's gonna cause a debate or two if they're not capping it at 20.
Conversation to be had.
Yeah, I can't see anything in here that suggests that there is a your gargantuan at 20 foot. Because I'm pretty sure, and I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% certain that gargantuan technically doesn't have an upper limit. Gargantuan is 20 foot and more. Is classified as gargantuan because I've definitely utilized that to make my minis look bigger on VTTs. To be like, oh yeah, this guy's motherfucking huge. Because if you're facing a kraken, you don't want a 20-foot kraken. You want a 50-foot kraken. That's overstating it, but you get the idea. But yeah, so that's a slight concern that I have. But
yeah,
I think if you were a DM, you'd just be like, no, you're 20 foot. But it'd be nice for it.
Or you might do a fun thing when you're like, okay, so level 14, you can grow to 20 feet, and I'll give you an extra 5 foot a level.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I like that. Yeah, there's ways around it, of course. But it'd be nice to have it codified. Alignment doesn't change. Your AC is 11 plus your Wisdom modifier. You get temp HP of 2 times your Druid level, speed 40, climb 40. So this is your King Kong here. Strength and Dex scores equal to the Wisdom score. Oh, interesting. Equal to your Wisdom score. Is that normal for Wild Shape? I don't think so, is it?
No, usually it's
the Wisdom score. Yeah.
Yeah. No, usually you look at the animal or creature.
Normally you take the animal, and if it has higher stats than you can use them. In the new one, I'm not as familiar with the new.
I'm not as familiar with the new one either.
I do have it here. I'll have a little.
Remembering the old ones.
Yeah. Your Con, Intelligence, Wisdom, Charisma don't change.
Interesting that the Leviathan has a lower AC than our Behemoth.
Yeah.
That to me, I'm like,
So generally, your game statistics are replaced by the beast's stat blocks, but you retain your creature type, hit points, hit point dice, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma scores, class features, languages, and feats. You also retain your skills and saving throw proficiencies, and use your proficiency bonus for them. If a skill or a saving throw in the beast stat block is higher than yours, use the one in the stat block is the standard one. So this is largely different, allowing it to scale with you if you increase your wisdom.
Got you. Yeah, that makes sense. Languages don't change. 6-foot dark vision. That's all pretty much identical to the Leviathan as well, except as you rightly pointed out, Annina, the AC is 1 less, which I don't understand why. And instead of a climb speed, you get a swim speed with the Leviathan. I wonder how that compares to the Insectoid.
The Insectoid is even lower AC.
Yeah,
it's lower, but it
8
flies.
plus your wisdom, but it
and
flies.
That's a big. It's into the point where if I had this character, I don't think I'd choose Insectoid because I'm like,
it gives you the fly speed, so
it gives you something else as well as fly speed. It gives you flyby.
Yeah, which means no opportunity attacks either. So
also
it's good. It's good they've reduced the AC.
You can use flyby and cure wounds. Literally,
oh my days!
Carry on out without.
Yeah, the Insectoid is pretty good on that front.
It's it's Insectoid appears to be the utility.
Yeah.
Gargantuan
Why
utility.
the change in Leviathan and Behemoth? Why is the Leviathan like not quite as potent?
It'll probably come in somewhere. There's probably going to be something we'll get to, I reckon. That will make it clear. I think.
Auras.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe the toxic stench
And cloud.
there. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, aside from AC and movement speeds, the kind of baseline stats are the same.
Yeah.
It's the traits and the actions that are going to be different. So all of them have got multi-attack and some form of rend, which is interesting. The rends seem to be the same. Oh no, it's different damage types. Okay, so you got rend, piercing for the Insectoid. You got bludgeoning for the Leviathan and slashing for the Behemoth, which is fun. I wonder if they've reduced the AC actually of the Leviathan because there's a reaction for the Leviathan, which the Behemoth doesn't have. But we'll get to that in a minute. So focusing in on the Behemoth. So traits. This one does require a druid level of 10+, which I think is probably a case for all of them to have one of those. So when you enter the space of an enemy that is at least one size smaller than you for the first time on a turn, that creature is subjected to the following effect. So strength saving throw, DC equaling your spell save DC. On a failure, the target has the prone condition. If the target already has the prone condition, it instead takes 2d6 bludgeoning damage.
Nice.
That's kind of fun.
Just stomping on them.
Yeah, exactly. And they can also deal double damage to objects and structures, which is cool. Not that comes up very often, I find.
No, but I've got a feeling that if you have one of these in your campaign, it's gonna.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
This is the siege monsters. Basically, let's pretend to be Godzilla like everyone did when they were a kid, and
enjoy your
cover boxes.
Enjoy your eco warrior kaiju in this agrarian land that I've given you.
Exactly, yeah. You picked berries from this bush. How dare you?
So you also unlock multi-attack from a level 5. So you start with just one attack, and then get your multi-attack at level 5, which again I think is the case for all of them. So the rend attack here, as we've talked about, is 10-foot reach, 1d8 plus wisdom modifier, slashing damage for that one. And then also as a attack, so if you use this, you can't use your rend multi-attack. This is Incandescent Breath. So you expend a level 1 plus spell slot. Interesting. For a dexterity saving throw against your spell save DC for each creature in a 5-foot wide, 60-foot line. You do 2d8 radiant damage per level of the spell slot expended. That's nice. You can soup that up. Plus your wisdom modifier. A successful save is half damage.
That's nice.
Thoughts on the Behemoth?
I think it's solid. Yeah, it's. I think it's obviously you go for this sort of Godzilla King Kongi kind of vibe with it. Rampager, I think, is great and could really start to cause some problems.
Yeah. That prone condition extra damage is.
Well, because you can wade through as well, because it's essentially an aura. So if you wade through the battlefield, you can knock a lot of people prone.
And you've got range as well with your incandescent breath.
Yeah. I mean, I know that's a level 10 feature, but that feels real strong.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be from the because I think this is the first subclass from the new Druid, I think, that actually rivals Moon Druid for a slot in terms of I want to be combat monster guy, like where I'm turning into for fighting. Yeah. And so it needs to tread that line of not being just a better version of the Moon Druid.
Yeah.
But also it does need to give you some stuff that feels cool, because you need to live the fantasy. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Like, you don't want to have to wait until
living the
level.
fantasy.
You don't want to have to wait until you get to level 14 to really feel like you're doing. You know, you need to feel like you're getting stronger. You're doing more stuff. Because I think changing into the same 3 things could get quite old.
Quite boring.
I mean, you can still, you know, it doesn't stop you from changing into other stuff. But in terms of your main forms, I think that gives you a nice solid thing, rather than just choosing Moon Druid and choosing something big. Choosing something big and smashy.
Yeah, it kind of feels, in many ways, I don't know how much you guys paid attention to the playtest stuff for 5.5, but this kind of feels like they've taken some of the ideas that they played around with for the Druid, the first version of the Druid, which everybody went, no, don't want that. I just want to be able to pick an animal and turn into it, thank you very much. Yeah. I don't want like a template stat block that I adjust based on what type of animal I want to be. Just let me be the animal. It feels like they've taken the design elements of that got rejected and gone, okay, how can we use that to create something cool that's not necessarily just an animal? Which in that sense, I actually agree with this as an idea, because you've still got the option to do the other thing.
I think the other interesting thing with this is that they haven't just created 3 beasts. These are wild shapes. These are not creatures that exist within D&D that you can. I mean, I'm sure you can adapt it into a thing, but a Moon Druid can't turn into these things. You know, this is not an option for anyone. This is something unique and flavoursome.
Mm-hmm. And also, I'm going to put it out there, right? You take this subclass and you add it to a baddie NPC. And start using this as a DM. This gets like a real fun boss battle.
I was just thinking, this is a great run as a villain.
I've got a build for you for that. Yeah. Because one of the things that we've seen is slightly underwhelming in this is the AC. So you might want to live your fantasy. You want to live your big monster. But when you're coming in with probably about 15 AC ish, around about that, give or take a point, with temporary HP 2 times your druid level. So when you actually take this, you're getting an extra 6 HP. And then even at when you get to Gargantuan, you're adding, you are adding 28, HP to that, but it's not the wild 2014 Druid stat blocks. So you might sort of think, you take a couple of big hits and that Behemoth suddenly is down and you're a little guy again. There are some things that you can, without multiclassing, that you can do with this. You add the tough feat, all of a sudden that's or something like that that's in there. But going back to last week, let's say you've got your monstrous bad guy that is turning into kaiju and doing this. You're destroying my forest. I've made a pact with a devil to grant me powers to take it back to there. You add infernal pacts to this. You add infernal bulwark to this, and now you're looking at something with AC 18 potentially walking around.
So we're fighting that in a future campaign then. I can already see it on Wayne's face.
The infernal bulwark.
Got it up here. I can.
It's your armor class, isn't it? Whilst you aren't wearing armor or shield, devil's
so you
flesh.
retain your so in the new.
I don't know. I don't know actually if that works, because devil's flesh, your base armor class equals 10 plus your dexterity modifier plus the ability to increase by the feat.
Yes. So if you picked the right feat.
Yeah, but no, because it doesn't apply, because one cancels out the other, because they don't stack. Because your Behemoth AC is 11 plus your Wisdom modifier. And your Devil's Flesh makes it 10 plus your dex plus your whatever. So by
You
changing,
pick one though, don't you?
Well, no, because once you change into the Behemoth, you
have
Oh,
to.
I thought because I thought the unarmored defense still works with certain people when they've multi-classed into for example, monk. I think you can pick which one you use. I don't know how flavoursome that is.
Let me double check, because it's worded with the Infernal Bulwark that your AC becomes that.
Yeah.
And likewise with the Behemoth, it becomes
Don't
that.
know
So
about
that
the new-
wording explicitly states that.
I don't know about the new
you're choosing
druid,
one.
but old, classic druid, definitely you have the AC of whatever you turn into.
Oh no, that was no. In the old druid, people were multi-classing into barbarian and monks so that they could use unarmored defense.
So the monk is the same here. While you aren't wearing armor or wielding a shield, your base armor class equals 10 plus your dex plus wisdom modifier.
Yeah.
So you can't stack it with anything.
Oh, no, it's not. It's not about stacking. It's about choosing to replace the AC. So I believe you can choose which AC. I might be wrong, but from what I've seen online with the Discord,
I've never had that choice
to replace one AC calculation with another if one is better than the other.
I've never had.
Well, it depends if you fulfill the criteria, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose.
This is why I hate multiclassing, guys.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's
why I don't like it, because it's bullshit. Anyway, okay, cool. Let's take a look at the Leviathan.
The Leviathan.
As well. All right, so you can breathe air and water. You have toxic stench. So con saving throw. DC equals your spell save DC. Each creature of your choice that starts its turn in a 10-foot... I see, I don't like it being of your choice. I'm just putting it out there, because I think if you stink, you stink.
Yeah, but it's mentioned that it's a stench.
You can deal with my smell. That's fine. You're good.
We go way back.
Yeah. We've been up close and personal for years.
You don't even notice it at this point.
So anyway, just pointing out there, I don't think that makes any goddamn sense, but fine. Each creature of your choice that starts its turn in a 10-foot emanation originating from you, if they fail, take 2d4 poison damage and have the poison condition until the start of your next turn. I mean, I like it, but I just don't think it makes sense that you can choose.
I understand, because you don't want to friendly fire and stuff in D&D. I mean, it happens, but you don't want to have to worry too much about that sort of thing. However, you are
strong disagree, but okay.
You're playing.
I accept your point.
You are. No, as a player, you don't necessarily want to.
Oh yeah, but I feel like if we're baking friendly fire not being possible into the rules, I kind of feel like what's the point?
Yeah. I am. However, especially in this, you're playing a kaiju.
Right.
Collateral is part of the deal.
100%. And let's not forget villainous options. Like, the best villains don't give a shit whether they hurt their friends.
Hold your nose, boys.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, in our big home campaign, when it's the wizard's turn, it's very much like, get out of the way, because they are going to use fireball.
Right.
They are
100%.
Get out of the way.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that.
And I kind of feel like, if I'm being honest, like if they start their turn, like I kind of feel like you've get this. Just don't get close, guys. Yeah. Just stay clear of the big mother freaking kaiju. It's probably good advice generally.
Why are you within 10 foot of it anyway?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, I understand why they've done it, because because reasons, and it's all warm and fuzzy and stuff. But it just doesn't make any narrative sense, and that's where I really lose my temper. Because with Wizards of the Coast.
If it was like acid spray, which would have a poison condition, then you could right. I am spitting at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is an emanation that just exists because you stink. Yeah. Not because you're being like, and aura, poof. You're just being like, no, I just
that guy's
smell.
Wearing Lynx Africa and nothing gets that.
Right. So yeah, but otherwise I think fine. Yeah. I just not make it so you can choose, but that's because I'm a grumpy DM that likes a bit of friendly fire in amongst the PCs, because I think it's hilarious. But and then you got your rend attack, which is the same as the Behemoth, except it's bludgeoning damage. And then you get this reaction here, which I think might be why they have reduced the armor class by 1, which is an ink cloud, which is cool. Every time you take when you take damage, rather, you can use your reaction, so once a turn. You expend a level 1+ spell slot and release an inky cloud that fills a 15-foot radius cube centered on yourself. I wonder why it's a cube. Interesting. And you move up to your speed. Yeah. Surely a sphere would have made more sense, but okay.
I guess they wanted to go in every, up, down.
Sure.
If something's flying, 10 foot up.
I guess, maybe. The cube is heavily obscured, lasts for a minute or until a strong current or wind. So it's basically a fog cloud.
Yeah.
Ink.
It's
and a
like,
cube.
What, a gigantic squid?
Also, rarely do cubes get... The radius doesn't... Because radius is a circle, but also...
Right, that's what I thought too.
Radius doesn't get used with cube much, because when someone says a 15-foot cube, you measure the sides of a cube, whereas this is confusing it. It's actually a 30-foot.
I feel like this could be a typo, if I'm honest.
Yeah, how do you make a cloud cube?
A cube.
Here's my ink cube.
I think so it's actually a 30-foot cube, of which you must be at the centre. I think that's why they've mentioned radius.
But then just use a sphere.
Yeah, just use centered on yourself. So that answers your question, Wayne, about how big your Gargantuan gets. Because if you're bigger than 30 feet, then he's not doing anything. He's just covering you in a bit of a...
Yeah, I suppose so. I
have inked on myself. Sorry. I'm still very much visible because I am larger than my emanation.
Yeah. It does say you can get rid of it with a gust of wind.
A strong current or wind. Yeah. So what do we think about the Leviathan then?
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think mechanically the Gargantuan, not Gargantuan, the Behemoth is going to be generally more useful. The Leviathan looks like it's quite good. It'll be quite good against small, weak things with that emanation.
I would have liked something, because this one can swim, and how I know Leviathans, they're usually kind of amphibious-y, lizardy types.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wanted something like a water-based attack,
or like a charge attack or something like that. Like, that sort of something bursting from the deep and smashing something.
Like a tsunami wave or something to really use the elements.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like, because it literally says amphibious. Give me some water.
Yeah.
Give me some water powers.
Yeah.
Toxic stench doesn't necessarily fit in with that there, does it?
An ink cloud is already making me think of like a squid.
Yeah, Kraken.
But then it's like, and it farts. It's quite, quite odd.
Yeah, I think, I was thinking when I saw that it had a swim speed, I was thinking Godzilla going through the water and stuff. But actually, you're right. It's more Kraken than it is.
Yeah, Kraken, or like not quite a dragon-esque, that kind of like, in fact, one of the evil things... Nessie type.
It's just sort of Ursula with gas.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the kind of descriptions on the table are like many tentacles, translucent and blob-like.
Yeah, that's your giant squid,
whereas
Jules Verne.
Yeah, whereas the Behemoth is more your Godzilla.
Yeah.
So
I was hoping for give it a water attack where you can make a massive wave come and crash it.
But they didn't want to lock it into just being in the in the water. But then,
but I suppose you could argue that rend being bludgeoning, because you don't really have water damage, you have cold damage. So you could be like, it smacks its tentacles and a wave crashes and hits you. Yeah, but
people are going to be like, it doesn't say wave, so you can't do it in water. You know that's going to happen.
I mean, yeah,
but bite me.
Do you know what actually I think would be? I think one thing that would be maybe nice with that is if you with the with the toxic stench, maybe swapping it out for something that's maybe that your attacks have a sort of like an area of effect, which you could flavor either as water splashing or as a as just an earthquakey kind of vibe. If you're slamming your tentacles around.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the Insectoid, because we've also got we're still on level 3, and we've only got about half an hour to go. So you get Flyby, which we've talked about, which is super useful. And then you get Hive Mind at level 10. When you assume this form, you forge a telepathic link with a number of creatures of your choice you can see, and that can communicate in at least one language. The maximum number of creatures is equal to your druid level. You and the chosen creatures can communicate telepathically with each other, whether or not you share a language, and as long as you're on the same plane. I mean, this is basically your, radio whilst you're flying.
Yeah.
The eagle has landed. Over. I mean, cool, I guess.
Yeah, is there any range on it?
So long as you're on the same plane, and so long as you share a language.
Yeah.
Oh no, whether or not you share a language, and as long as you're on the same plane.
It's telepathic. No words needed.
So, and it's not and also it's not magical. They can't stop you doing it. You'd literally just so you can go off and have you're the ultimate scout in this.
Well, yeah, except the thing is, obviously, you have to be in your wild shape, so you're not really going to be particularly
apart
stealthy.
From the fact you're a massive wasp.
Who needs to be stealthy when you're...
You're not going to be doing any infiltration missions like this.
200 feet up.
Do you get to choose your size? Or does it automatically become your size?
It's up to, isn't it? Because you're going to... Otherwise, after level 14, you're useless in a corridor.
I don't...
Yeah, but that also kind of feels like... unfair.
Oh, yeah, you can choose to become Gargantuan at level 14. Yeah. You can choose to become huge. So you can choose your size, at least.
Okay. So you can suck your stomach in to get through a corridor.
Yeah, enjoy this dungeon crawl.
More!
Just slowly squeezing through. Hey guys, I'll wait in the lobby.
So you also get 2 rend attacks at level 5. The rend attack's the same as the others, except it's piercing damage. And then you also have Energizing Pollen. So you can expend a level 1 spell slot and emit a cloud of healing pollen. Ah, healing pollen. It's a healing cloud.
This is now Care Bear.
Yeah.
Energizing pollen is...
that sounds... Yeah.
It sounds like something like an influencer would try and sell me.
Yeah, it does.
Gwyneth Paltrow, Goop have got a 2-for-1 on energizing pollen right now.
It does, yeah. And a subscription is only £50 a month, straight to your door.
So it's 2d8 plus 5 times the expended spell slot level of healing, and you can choose any number of creatures within 15 feet of yourself to divide those hit points among them. So it's not each; it is separated out.
This is definitely the group player, like the group support form.
Yeah, 100%.
That plus being having cure wounds, having flyby, is really sort of really makes you sort of the go-to healer of the group.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love the Insectoid one. I'm not gonna lie, don't love it.
Is it because Wayne wants to smash?
Yeah.
Well, like, it doesn't, to me, that doesn't fulfill any of the huge creature fantasy.
Yeah,
you
not a Mothra stan?
Yeah.
No, not really. I mean, I guess that's what they're leaning into, I guess.
Yeah, I thought Mothra instantly. But again, Mothra's not there pooping energizing pollen, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been big on the old kaiju stuff, but I mean, it just, to me, I don't know what fantasy that's fulfilling, other than Mothra. The other two, I mean, definitely the Behemoth, that's the best one, but even Leviathan, to an extent, I can kind of see it.
Leviathan, yeah, I would choose Leviathan if he can, I want to make a tsunami.
I just don't want to be going. Oh, you're healed now. Like that doesn't excite me. But I mean, to each their own. To each their own.
But yeah.
What do you guys think of the Insectoid?
Again,
I think there's a place for it. I think as well. I think especially if you're leaning into again with your by the sometimes literal elephant in the room in the form of the moon druid. Is that you are foregoing some more powerful things to take this instead, and so you're gonna want some flexibility and some variation in the things that you can do that you're foregoing in some of the more powerful forms that a moon druid can.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. What do you think?
You don't have to take the Insectoid. It's fine.
It's true. It's true. I just don't see me picking it. That's all.
Yeah, I see what you mean. There's no sort of like power monster fantasy in the Insectoid, but it's tactically very strong. I'm not gonna.
It becoming clutch in the middle of a fight.
Yeah.
Suddenly everyone's getting healed. You're zipping around. You're doing stuff.
And from what I can see, you can choose to swap and change.
Sure.
So.
Yeah.
Which makes it. Yeah, I think I probably would choose the Insectoid for the tactical advantage. It's just
Yeah, that is your clutch choice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not your showstopping.
When in doubt, you can fly out of there.
Yeah, look what I can do thing. Like, this is the utilitarian outfit, whereas, Behemoth is your party piece.
Yeah.
That's your...
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's take a look at level 6 now. Dire Impact. Your Titan form brings greater devastation. You gain the following benefits. Elemental Rend. Whenever you hit with your Titan's form's rend attack, you can cause it to deal damage of your choice. Acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage rather than its normal type. So I guess that's where you could get your water damage, I suppose. You do cold and things, I guess, with your Leviathan, which is cool. And then Shockwave. Your transformation upheaves your surroundings. Immediately after you assume a Titan form, or by taking a bonus action to expend a level 1+ spell slot while in your Titan form, you can create a shockwave in a 15-foot emanation originating from you.
Yeah, that's your tsunami.
Yeah, right. Each creature in the emanation must succeed on a con save against your spell save DC or have the prone condition as a bonus action. That's pretty cool.
That's nice.
That's nice. I like that.
That's nice and powerful.
No notes really on that.
I think it's interesting with these that they're using your spell slot just as like a resource at this point. Is that thinking of if you want to just be kaiju and not worry too much about being, if your fantasy is not being a spellcaster particularly, and you want to be kaiju, it is giving you that option to be like, well, I'm not just ignoring those things. I can use those spell slots to empower myself.
Yeah, it's a nice choice. I like it. It's a good, and also I can see as being in kaiju form, Titan form, that you can burn through spell slots pretty quick. Actually, I think. Which from a DM's perspective, I'm like, good. Give them toys. Give them toys to spend.
Because what you don't want, the terror of running D&D for high level druids in 2014 rules of that thing of, I've finally taken down their monster for a turn until they wild shape again.
Honestly.
Or you've reduced them from this terrifying monster that they've turned into, and they are still a druid with a bunch of spell slots.
Yeah, 100%.
I do love the Circle of the Moon Druid. I'm not gonna lie. Never gotten that high yet, but
yeah, it is good. Level 10 then. Primal Havoc. The unbridled power of nature surges within you, granting you the following benefits. So your improved Titan form, allowing you now to become huge. Each Titan form also gains an additional benefit as noted in its respective stat block. So that is where... Oh yeah, these are like the Toxic Stench, the Rampagers, etc. That comes in at level 10. And then above it all, while you are huge or larger in your Titan form, difficult terrain caused by heavy snow, ice, rubble, or undergrowth doesn't cost you extra movement. I like the fact that they have explicitly stated what those difficult terrain causes have to be, rather than it just being like, difficult terrain, not a problem. What do you think?
Yeah, that is something that when you're, a Titan, you should have. You should have not, oh no,
Yeah,
there's rocks in my way.
Yeah.
That's
An
kind
incline.
of a bare minimum after a certain size, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I like that they've called out specific causes as opposed to just a blanket difficult terrain's not a problem. Because it still gives the DM room to maneuver in that.
It can give you very specific things.
Yeah, but your kind of basic stuff, which would normally cause that sort of difficult terrain, is like, you're going to have to get inventive, Mr. DM, if you want to make my difficult terrain difficult.
Yeah, which is good, because otherwise you've got that weird thing where, like, a certain pet doesn't like the hallway carpet. It's like, oh, I'm not going to step on that.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And then finally, at level 14, you get Monstrous Appetite, which is a lot of fun, you get Gargantuan size now, and again, still not seeing anything on an upper limit, which is interesting.
I think that may become a problem.
Yeah, I think it might as well, if I'm honest, but we'll see. Grappling Rend. Once per turn, when you're huge or larger and hit a creature with a rend attack, you can give the target the grappled condition. You can only have one target grappled in this way at a time. I feel like it should be two, if you're able to go into Gargantuan. I feel like two creatures grappled is fine.
Are you telling me my Leviathan only has one working tentacle?
That's what I mean. Yeah, and the King Kong thing of like grabbing people and I think
I don't like that.
I'm all for like not giving too much power, but this is level 14. I think 2 is fine for have the grappled condition. I think that's fine. But this is the coolest bit. you can swallow creatures now as a bonus action. So long as they're large or smaller in your Gargantuan and they're grappled by you, the target makes a strength saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failure, you swallow the target and the grapple condition ends. A swallow creature has the blinded and restrained conditions. Total cover against attacks and other effects.
Out of you. Do
they?
They have added something that I have thoughts on.
So 2d8 acid damage from stomach acid at the start of their turns. Nice. The number of creatures you can have swallowed at a time equals to your wisdom modifier. You must maintain concentration to hold swallowed creatures in your stomach. If you lose concentration or leave your Titan form, you regurgitate all swallowed creatures, each of which falls in a space within 10 feet of you, has the prone condition.
To be clear, you cannot keep your fear spell up while you do that. You cannot... Longstrider isn't right, so it's just the fear one, I believe. Stone Skin is gone as well, but I have thoughts on Stone Skin anyway, I think.
Yeah. I like
that swallow one, and I do like that there is you have to maintain your concentration to do it. So it's
which interestingly
eaten, and that's
creatures that have the ability to swallow don't have that concentration element to them. So this is something you have that isn't quite as good as those creatures that do.
Normally it's a damage threshold, isn't it? Normally.
I don't know. It might well be. Get in the comments.
Let me think. Let me take a look. I think the Otyugh can swallow, so I'll take a look at the Otyugh.
I do love the visceral acid damage.
Yeah, he literally just... I think it's a really cool. Also, just being able to take a creature out of the fight for a while.
Yeah.
If you've got a creature free, and also it can be used quite tactically. Let's say you've got a creature that causes fear, and several of your party are so you swallow that creature, you're not afraid anymore. You can't see it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm looking at the giant toad, and no, you're right. There's not even a damage threshold or anything like that. You just have to kill it.
Yeah. Well, I suppose it makes sense because you are not a monster. You are holding form as a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of thing. Yeah, there is a.
Yeah.
It just to me it feels less story, more like we'll just have a.
It makes sense.
We'll have a way to get.
The DM needs to find a way to get their big bad out of your stomach.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, although presumably by level 14, if it's a big bad, they could probably teleport in some way.
And not if they can't see where they're going.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the nature of the teleportation, I guess.
Blinded and restrained, though.
Mm-hmm. But also the creature inside can attack the creature.
Yeah,
can attack you as well. They're just doing it at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
I like how
picture Drax and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
2,
yeah,
I believe.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. So we powered through those last few features because I was aware of time. But what do we think?
I like it. I think it's very thematic for the most part. We picked a few little things in there, but generally you're living your fantasy and it's scaling, which I think with things in the Druid previously, certainly back in 2014, could be an issue where you start choosing new forms as you're going along because you should be able to get better and better tougher and bigger creatures kind of thing. This allows you to have this one kind of form, or 3 forms really, that that grows with you and gets better and cooler. It's definitely powerful. I think it's obviously a situation. It's good that you can choose your size. You can always choose to be a smaller size, so you're not useless in, say, a dungeon crawl or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like it. This is a well done one. On theme, nice. Especially the later level powers are not. And
one of the things you have to worry about as well, particularly if you've got a DM like Wayne who likes to pile in with enemies, the bigger you are, that's a lot more surface area for enemies to attack.
Yeah, that's true.
And whilst you can cast, as funny as I like the image of being in tentacle form and reaching into your component pouch to pull out the 100 gold pieces of diamond dust required to cast Stone Skin.
Does that mean that your Leviathan has?
That's the one thing.
It says nothing about components in that, does it?
No, it doesn't, does it?
Yeah.
And it's the one thing that makes. It's the one thing for me that has always made Stone Skin a really, really underwhelming level 7 spell, because it consumes 100 gold pieces worth of diamond dust, and then you can lose it if you drop concentration.
Oh, boy.
So this is a spell that you'll have to cast. By the time you get it, you're gonna have to cast. It's not a level 7. Sorry, you get it at level 7. Sorry.
Yeah, it's level 4 normally.
Level 4, but yeah, you're spending 100 gold pieces. You can't use your swallow ability while you're doing it because you'll lose it. People are probably going to be hitting you because you've got low AC. You've got low AC. All you're really doing, you've got the resistance of bludgeoning, so you're likely to, you're gonna have to hit some higher numbers to make you drop your concentration. But that's
weird.
Yeah.
If
you drop the components, then it's a bit better.
Yeah.
But I'm just picturing King Kong.
Let me get from my tentacle pocket.
Although you could have it pulls out a diamond and crushes it into dust.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Just starts.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of fun. I particularly love the Behemoth form.
Yeah.
See, it's gonna be Leviathan for me because I want a splashy splash.
And I think I'll complete the trip. I'm going to come out for Insectoid.
Tactically good.
I think the Insectoid will have some of the bigger moments in terms of coming in and saving. But in terms of living your fantasy,
yeah,
obviously Behemoth smashing buildings. That's when we're it makes your DM ask themselves the question they've never asked, which is, what HP does this temple have?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. If you have got a Titan Druid in your party, you best get remembering those object ACs and hit points, like, which is good though, because like
what's the building made of? Oh
yeah. How tall is this? Can I reach the ceiling?
There are some cool moments. Picture you're meeting some shady characters in a barn. It looks like it's going to kick off. You're not sure if you can trust them on the handover. You call in the special thing. A fist comes through the ceiling as the Behemoth stares down and lasers them.
Yeah,
you can do some ridiculous stuff with this.
The laser, is that your Stench?
No, the Behemoth.
That's the incandescent breath.
Behemoth's got the incandescent breath. But it's a line. It's one of those.
I see.
Like, I think of like Godzilla's laser breath.
Yeah. You
can call it what you want. It's laser breath. It goes in a beam.
Yeah.
I mean, it's radiant damage, so I guess a beam of light, isn't it? Yeah.
I think it's there's large amounts of storytelling potential with this.
For sure.
It really does start to feel I tell you what, it really fulfills is the superhero team or supervillain in this instance vibes of things. You've got one walking through the city smashing things up. You've got some of the subclass flying around doing things. There's a lot of cool stuff to be going on with this.
Yeah, and I do feel like with 5.5 generally, they've really lent into, you guys are fantasy superheroes. Like 2014 was there already, but they've really gone, okay, we're not even pretending anymore. You guys are just superheroes now.
I really like the swallow mechanic, actually. I think that's really well done. Really well balanced. It'll be really fun.
Yeah. And
you will be completely hopeless if you get stuck. If you get swallowed as well. So that one gets a gold star.
It asks a few questions as well that we don't have to ask much, which is, you've got a lot of abilities which will say, if this creature is large or smaller, it is knocked prone. Once you get to level 10 and you start becoming huge, you become immune to a lot of effects that I think a lot of monsters have with this sort of thing. We might need to have a look at how large and gargantuan affect other things, whether it be strength contests, whether it be grappling and all these kind of things.
Strength contests. There's nothing.
Yeah, except Sentinel. Who gives a damn about Sentinel?
Soapbox. He's reaching for the soapbox, guys.
I'm reaching for the soapbox. I'm just gonna give all my big bads Sentinel. See how my players like it. Ha ha! You got Gargantuan creature. Ha ha! My puny little Ant-Man will stop you from
your
moving
toe.
Anywhere. Yeah. There'll be opportunity for DM's revenge. I have given this guy a Sentinel feat.
Oh
god. No, but it's true though. It's I really like the sorts of powers and abilities and feats and whatnot. I like to use them as a DM as much as I like my players to be able to use them as well, to be honest. That change the classification of a creature. That it's like, okay, this is not a humanoid, this is now a construct. And it's like, okay, well, that changes what can interact with some things that you would normally assume. Like, I love it when there's a creature that appears humanoid and then somebody like tries to cast hold person. And then watch them shit their pants when it's like, it doesn't work. And they're like,
Yeah, I love those ones. Like when you make dominate person work, or what is it? Modify memory. Those ones that make you go. Yeah.
Yeah. I love things like that.
Goblins now in the 2024 rules
Being
can't
fey.
be hit by you can't use cold person on a goblin anymore because they're fey.
Yeah. And I love that shit. I think it adds
sense.
another.
It makes sense to me that it's not. It's a fey rather than a person.
Yeah.
But I think that's good that sort of stuff should matter as well. Do you know what I mean? It shouldn't just be there as a.
Yeah, and I think the fact that you have a ultimately this is a subclass that is designed to adjust your creature's size, kind of like the giant barbarian, the Path of the Giant Barbarian from Big Bees. That's really fun. I ran in my Vecna campaign. One of my players was a barbarian, Path of the Giant, and when they raged, they could go large at first, and then later they unlocked huge. That was a lot of fun because it would have exactly those sorts of rules interactions of like, oh, this. In fact, they did fight a kraken at one point, which can throw creatures. I don't know.
That
actually,
is something I'd like to see, a throwing like giant. Like
I was really surprised. The
giants that have that they can chuck stuff.
Yeah, and I think actually the Path of the Giant Barbarian has something similar as well from Big Bees.
Yeah, that's maybe something.
I was really surprised. Yeah, and I was going to say that earlier, but then I forgot. I got sidetracked.
Yeah, where's if we can make shockwaves and things, why can't we? And we can grapple one creature. Why can't we then go?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually
I agree.
Missing. Yeah. Oh, I've lost my concentration. Let me place you down gently.
Yeah, so I was right. So Kraken can fling creatures large or smaller.
No.
Throws a large creature. Oh no, it has to be large, does it? Surely that's a typo. But yeah. So if you're kaiju druid, you can be like, yeah, well, screw you. You ain't throwing me nowhere. Yeah, that's and you know a Behemoth druid versus a kraken. Yeah. I mean, who doesn't want that? Yeah. Who doesn't want that? That's it's good. And again, the thing that we keep saying about these subclasses, really nicely thematic. They've gone right. What's the concept? And they've really managed to mechanically make it feel how you would expect it to feel, which is not always the case for some D&D subclasses. But they're really committing to the bit with all of these, which is nice. Yeah,
this
cool.
Is your Michael Bay film right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just looking at the attacks in terms of how strong they are. So if we obviously got like the Behemoth has the rend attack, and it does makes 2 rend attacks. They are 1d8 plus your Wisdom modifier slashing damage, and obviously that's improved sort of in Dire Impact later on. In that you get to choose your damage type. They don't actually hit that hard.
They don't hit that hard, actually. I'd agree.
That I'm like, so in terms of scanning, if you're getting to level 14 and you're rolling, you get 2 attacks doing what, 1d8 plus 5 each, whilst the fighters out there with 3 attacks.
I'd be the most ineffective kaiju ever with my dice rolls.
They've got a little pillow. They're a little bit pillow-fisted.
I feel as though they could cantrip up those attacks a little bit.
Yeah, I think that is something that should increase in power, because unless you've got someone with enlarge reduce that can give you a massive sword.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
Have a big stick.
But you're right. They are lacking in strength past a certain
point. Which is, like you say, the Behemoth feels really good. It says it's doing double damage to structures, but if that double damage is a maximum of what? Early 20s?
Yeah, it's still not a lot, is it?
That is...
Come back next week and this building will be rubble.
Or you push over a building and then,
That's the one thing that seems to be that I think could
like it's a stuffed animal all along.
A little bit.
Yeah, that's a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that is.
I think that's the thing that I would. I think the thing that I would do to improve the Leviathan, I'd give it 3 rend attacks just so you get that tentacly thing going on there, as to make it stand out a little bit more against Behemoth. But I think that's the thing, is across the board, I'd have it that when they get to huge, they maybe get 2d8. When they get to Gargantuan, they get 3d8. Just so that, because if you're at level, you're level 14 at this point. Look at what the wizard's doing at level 14. Look at what.
Yeah.
I suppose we have to also look at what a moon druid's doing at those levels. What's the damage output of some of those creatures? But I think some of the creatures they can turn into, it's higher than 1d8 plus wisdom.
I think I definitely turn into, what is it? Wyvern and stuff like that. You can start beating. You can Triceratops, which always amuses me in D&D. Dinosaur.
Right. Yeah. That is really all we've got time for, isn't it?
Yeah.
Today, sadly. Shall we take a look at the Hellfire Knight next week?
Ooh.
Sure.
Oh, can we?
The Hell Knight, that's the one. The Hell Knight, not the Hellfire Knight. The Hell Knight. I think that'll be fun. The Goth Knight. Stay tuned for that next week, folks. If you haven't already, do hit subscribe, do hit like, and do hit that hype button. Because the hype in the first 48 hours really does tell YouTube that people are liking what they see. So hit that hype button, and that will really help us to put on more shows like this. So would be very, very grateful. But other than that, thank you for tuning in. Come and join us next week for Hell Knight discussions, unless D&D drop any big news, which I can't see happening. But you never know. So we'll be taking a look at the Hell Knight next week. And thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.